Folks, grab your popcorn and your finest china, because we've got a real-life episode of Extreme Makeover Downing Street Edition unfolding before our very eyes. Our protagonist, Sir Keir Starmer, barely 57 days into his new gig as Prime Minister, has decided that what this country really needs isn't economic reform or social change. Oh no, it's an art reshuffle, because nothing says, "I'm ready to lead," quite like playing musical portraits with your predecessors. The Iron Lady herself, Margaret Thatcher, has been given her marching orders from her cozy corner in number 10. One can almost hear her ghost whispering, "The lady's not for turning, but apparently my portrait is." It's like a game of Where's Wally, but with more shoulder pads and hairspray. Now the Tories are clutching their pearls so hard, you'd think Starmer had suggested replacing the Queen's head on the currency with a emoji. Priti Patel, always one for measured responses, suggests Starmer is too busy redecorating to govern. Well, Priti, at least he's not busy writing resignation letters, a favorite Tory pastime of late. And let's not forget Sir John Whittingdale, bless his heart, who's convinced this is all a dastardly plot to appease the left, because nothing says radical socialist agenda quite like slightly adjusting the location of a $100,000 painting. Karl Marx is surely doing backflips in his grave. But wait, there's more. Labour's Jackie Smith assures us that Maggie's visage will remain somewhere within the hallowed halls of number 10. Perhaps they'll turn it into a treasure hunt for visiting dignitaries. Find the Iron Lady, win a tax cut. It could be the new Brexit dividend. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the delicious irony of this whole situation. The portrait in question was commissioned by none other than Gordon Brown, a Labour PM back in 2007. Nothing says New Labour quite like dropping 6 figures on a portrait of your political arch-nemesis, does it? It's almost as if politics is just one big, expensive game of keeping up with the Thatchers. But the fun doesn't stop there. Oh no! The anonymous donor who footed the $100,000 bill for this masterpiece must be thrilled to see their investment being treated with all the reverence of a second-hand IKEA print. One can only imagine the donor's reaction. I spent $100,000 for this? I could have bought a small island for that, or at least a decent-sized shed in London. And let's not overlook the artist, Richard Stone. The poor chap spent hours capturing every stern line of Thatcher's face, only for his magnum opus to be shuffled around like a hot potato at a garden party. One hopes he at least got a participant ribbon for his troubles. Now, as Britain grapples with minor issues like a cost of living crisis, an NHS on life support, and a housing market more volatile than a Tory leadership contest, it's comforting to know our elected officials are laser-focused on the real problems, like where to hang a painting. Who needs bread when you've got circuses and a wandering Thatcher portrait? But let's be fair to Sir Keir. Maybe he's just trying to get into character as PM. After all, what could be more prime ministerial than rearranging the furniture while Rome burns? It's a time-honored tradition, right up there with awkward photo ops and dodging difficult questions on morning TV. So, as we eagerly await the next thrilling installment of Portraits and Prejudice, the Downing Street saga, one can't help but wonder, what's next on the grand redecoration agenda? Will Churchill's bust get a nose job? Is there a portrait of Tony Blair gathering dust in a broom cupboard somewhere? And most importantly, does anyone know a good chiropractor for all this national eye-rolling? Stay tuned, folks. In the meantime, if you spot a stern-looking portrait roaming the streets of Westminster, do give Downing Street a call. After all, in these trying times, we must all do our part for the great cause of interior design. God save the King, and may he protect us from politicians with too much time on their hands and not enough paintings to rearrange. This is Dripping with Sarcasm signing off. May your portraits always hang in the right place, at least until the next regime change that is.